Hey, howdy, hi, hello. So I meant to make this video a lot sooner, but epilepsy, like seriously, I keep having seizures. It's very annoying. Technically I had a seizure today, but I'm just trying to ignore that fact. So, series 12 overview and sort of rating. I'm combining both, why not? So, series 12, I'd say, is possibly one of my favourite series. If I have a look at my 12 right now, is sort of, at the moment, series 12 is third out of Doctor Who series. It's my third favourite at the moment, and that's kind of out of four because I've got two which are joint first, so yeah, basically series 12 is I think it's really good. No, I really like it. The Timeless Children thing, again, Timeless Child thing in general, I've said before, I need a lot more time to think about that. If I ever come to a conclusion on it, like how I have sort of come to a conclusion on Hellbent, I'm gonna need a couple of months minimum to come to a conclusion about the Timeless Child thing. I see points about why it's good, I see points about why it's bad, I just don't know. I don't know. Because on the plus side, it has the boy. By the way, I can explain about that. That's my World Book Day costume, Eye of Sauron. I guess I went as the Eye of Sauron for World Book Day, because why the fuck not? Anyway, on the plus side, this boy is in, which I suppose you could say is why I've rated this so highly, and the mean average is so high, is just purely because of the 4 episodes with him in. It's sort of, my bias is obvious, let's be real. I mean, I only started my Tumblr the day after Spyfall Part 1 aired, and like now I have nearly 500 followers on my Tumblr, so it's a time. It's definitely a time. The whole Timeless Child thing, I'd say series 12 continues the series 11 motif of just having a lot of really good stories. Like, to be honest, there's a lot of stories in series 12 that I just enjoy. Like Nikola Tesla's Night of Terror. That's just a good episode. It's great. I love it. I had a lot of fun with it. I thought it was amazing. Praxius as well. I love Praxius. I mean, when you look at it, there aren't actually as many like just standalone episodes as I thought there were. The Haunting of Villa Diodati as like an episode, and not just saying about the lone Cyberman and everything, just as like an episode, it's good. I like it. I like the atmosphere. I like all of that. There's so many just nice episodes in this, and I can kind of just series 12, like, not even looking at overarching whether the Timeless Child is a good idea or a bad idea. Series 12 is a lot of fun, in my opinion. It's better than series 11. Let me say that much, because series 11 I had problems with. I had problems with. There were episodes in series 11 I outright just didn't like. I mean, there is one episode in series 12 I didn't like, which, if we're going to get on to my sort of ranking, which I think we should. I think now's the time. So, bottom of the list is probably bottom of most people's list, Orphan 55. I can't with Orphan 55. I just... See, I have a friend who gave it like a 2 out of 10. I think that's too low. Because there's a lot of good things about Orphan 55. For example, I'd say it has a great heart. Like, it's trying to do something good. I can see what it's trying to do. It's like how I feel about The Witchfinders. The Witchfinders, although The Witchfinders for different reasons. The Witchfinders was great. It was amazing up until a certain point where it went off the rails and I really didn't like it. But Orphan 55 it's good to start with. Like, it's good for the first like 5 minutes, 5-10 minutes. And when you're only seeing glimpses of the creature, it's good. When I saw the trailers, it reminded me of Midnight, because I thought, ooh, like, because Midnight kind of starts on a spa. It kind of starts on like a sort of resorty type holiday thing, but with a hostile environment outside. And I see the similarities. It's like Midnight, but a lot worse. And I kind of class it as below average, which is why I give it a 4. And that's the lowest scoring episode for me, which does show why I like Series 12 so much, seeing as the lowest scoring episode got a 4. I did at first give it a 5 when I first saw it, because it's Orphan 55, and I thought I'm going to give it a 5. But no, it gets a 4. Then, at the moment, and these rankings are very liable to change, The Timeless Children is next. That got a 5 out of 10, because I can't decide whether I love it or hate it, so 5 out of 10. And I've done a full like 20 plus minute review of that episode. At the moment, I am leaning more towards liking it, because whilst I can see people's problems with it, I mean, I haven't seen any reviews of it. I'm scared to. I'm really scared to, because I don't want to see a review and have loads of people say... I don't want the episode to be ruined for me, basically. But I know I'm going to have to watch other people's reviews at some point. I know that's going to have to happen, and that's worrying me, but not to the point where I'm not going to watch. I will get round to it at some point, one day, maybe, perhaps, I don't know. One of the best parts of it, though, was the Master. I will say one of the best parts of the series was the Master. One of the worst parts of this series was the fact you had the Master. For 4 episodes. And I mean 4 episodes, technically. You basically, in my opinion, you had him for 2 episodes and like 3 minutes, maybe less. It's like, oh, come on. You have the Master. You can be I know you can be doing more with him. It's like, oh god. They could have done more. They didn't do more, but they could have done more. They didn't do more, and it's a little bit pissy, but there we go. It just could have been better. It's the definition of giving someone like a little stick of just saying could do better. Just giving them a C and just being like, yeah, you could do better. So then Fugitive of the Jadoon. 7. With Fugitive of the Jadoon, so I have like 3 episodes which I gave 7s. I mean, to be fair, overall, the episode got a mean average of 7.2 for me, so it makes sense for like quite a few to be getting 7s, but obviously I had to sort them into some sort of order. So, Fugitive of the Jadoon. Now, I do have problems with this episode. My main problem is, why did she kill Garth? I don't know why I'm so attached to Garth. I don't know why I like her so much. And I've said before, it's probably just because she's cute, but I liked Garth. I really liked Garth. Second of all, I wanted to find out more about who the Roof Doctor was staying on Earth with, and I mean, there's some really good moments, but the TARDIS team is underused. The Jack's just there, and they're not there for the rest of the series. I mean, we have Jack, and then we don't have Jack, and it's sad. And I wish we had more Jack, because I like Jack. I mean, everyone likes Jack. It's literally just they throw Jack in, and then it's just like, it does feel like they're just trying to get rid of the fam. It's like, you can use them. You are capable of putting them to good use, dearest writers. But no. Still, Jadoon. Like the Jadoon. We have Spyfall Part 2, also got a 7. Spyfall Part 2 I have problems with. That's mostly because of the 1943 Barry's costume for the Master, which, let's not go into that. Overall, though, I liked the time hopping. I think this episode, it really does prove, like, the job of Spyfall Part 1 was sort of, when it comes to the Master, the job was set up the reveal and catch you off guard. But the job of Spyfall Part 2 was, we've established that this is the Master. We need to, once again, sort of to new viewers, but also to this version of the Master and this version of the Doctor, we need to establish their relationship and how fucking complicated it is. Because you have them, it's like the leave them alone and then you can have me. It's just little lines. Or the Eiffel Tower scene between them when they're just talking, and it's like, did I ever apologise for that? No. Good. It just, you can be completely new to the show and get the vibe with those two. The chemistry, the on-screen chemistry they have, oh god. Ow! it's a historical cast, but it's a historical cast with sort of a lot of colour and a lot of like flavour and stuff. And you get their connections, and when they're like dancing and you have like, because they're dancing and they're just there like gossiping a little bit, and you're like, oh, historical gossip. Love historical gossip. Best thing is, watch this with my sibling. Love my sibling. But also they were there like, oh, did you know? And just like before the episode, just like ranting off facts about Lord Byron and about Mary and Percy and all those people. You see, whenever I say Percy, I think of like the Percy Pigs like sweets. I don't think about Percy Bysshe Shelley. Anyway, about Mary and Percy and that lot, and it was a good episode. It was a really good. I loved how everyone sort of. I loved again, I don't want to use the word chemistry too much, but I loved the like connection all the cast and all the characters had, and like, it's great. And when with Lord Byron being like, may I say how beautiful you look in a crisis, or something like that. That's very Lord Byron. That's very Lord Byron. I will say, I love historical episodes anyway. Like, I'm planning on doing probably a video of like top 10 historical episodes, because I have a lot which I really, really like. I just love historical episodes in general, because I love history. I mean, I'm taking GCSE history. What do you think? What do you think of me? So above The Haunting of Villa Diodati was Praxeus, which now looking back on it, maybe I should have put lower, but you know, I enjoyed Praxeus, so I'm going to carry on enjoying Praxeus. I liked how useful the fans sort of felt, because they felt a lot more useful in that episode. I was like, finally, should have been doing this all along, but like, whatever. So I do think in retrospect, maybe going through, I should have put Praxeus a bit lower, but I really liked it. I really did like it. I like, because it's also kind of horrific as well, is Praxeus, because personally, I'm someone who, I'm not sure if it's the Silurian episode in like John Pertwee's era. Diseases in general spook me out a little bit. Like, oh gosh. And I mean, it's the horror of like their faces and stuff. Ooh, that got me. That really got me. Like, personally. But it was less sort of gross to me and more just like cool special effects. Love the special effects. Great special effects. Now on to Nikola Tesla's Night of Terror. I just love, it's not quite alliteration, but it's not quite not alliteration. It's got enough similar letters and similar sounds for it to sort of be alliteration. I like it. I like the title in general, Nikola Tesla's Night of Terror. This is an allegory for colonialism done like properly. Done a lot. I can't think of an example in which it was not done properly, like specifically, but it's like, although it is weird that I did manage to guess the entire plot before it came out, and also how it was resolved. So like, I managed to guess everything, but doesn't stop it from being good. Still very enjoyable, very good, and my most popular post on Tumblr came out of this episode, that being the one in which I said I'm so glad we are exposing Edison for being the world's biggest dickhead, because he just was. I never fucking liked Edison. Ever since Jamie told me, oh hey, sibling, Edison's a dickhead. And I was like, oh, thank you. Good to know. And I kept that in my brain. And then we got this episode, which taught us, yes, I'm correct. Well, not me. Jamie. Jamie's correct. Jamie's correct about everything, aren't they? They don't watch my channel, so, like, I can shit talk about them as much as I like. I mean, it's not shit talking saying that they're correct about everything. Even if I am being sarcastic, it's not really shit talking, it's just being slightly salty. Anyway, on to the next one. Can you hear me? Now, I've seen some people put this one quite low, and I'm there like, what? Really? Because there's only one part of this episode I don't like. Well, two, actually. One is how quickly she gets out of the nightmare sort of situation. But the second thing is really nitpicky, and it is because basically, when the two god type things, two god creatures get, they were also, once again, better the less you saw of them. And my favourite episode, call me biased, but I can defend myself without mentioning the Master. My favourite episode is Spyfall Part 1. And the reason why is because I can think of faults. For example, having Stephen Fry for a grand total of like 5 seconds and then like just not using him at all. But aside from that, it's sort of a mystery. It's a mystery episode, but it's also got some great... My favourite episode, call me biased, but I can defend myself without mentioning the Master. My favourite episode is Spyfall Part 1. And the reason why is because I can think of faults. For example, having Stephen Fry for a grand total of like 5 seconds and then like just not using him at all. But aside from that, it's sort of a mystery. It's a mystery episode, but it's also got some great scenes, and by great scenes I mean nearly every scene. When Yaz is interviewing Barton, when and also Ryan being like, I've called myself Logan, but I look nothing like I look nothing like Hugh Jackman. That's great. I love that. Or when they go to like the party and the doctor there is there just like playing Snap instead. I will say with this series, altogether, it's been mostly based on You Can't Stop Me. I will carry on enjoying. I can see what they're going, but the thing is, a lot of these episodes, it's mostly based on Earth, aside from the last two episodes, which are I think I will revisit quite frequently. Like, you had it feels like, you know, they had a thing going and then they just sort of abandoned the thing. Like, who cares about the thing? No one cares about the thing. Those are going to be ones that I think I cared about the thing. Like, I mean, I don't think they were going for a thing now. I'm not sure. A few years. Everything seemed to be based on Earth besides the last two episodes, and they just feel like the odd ones out now. Maybe less, actually. Oh, maybe 28 minutes. I'm not sure on my list. But it's like, I'm not sure on how I've ranked them. I'm definitely open to changing this list with some persuasion. I don't know what I'm supposed to do exactly. So with that, I'm actually going to invite you guys to I did really enjoy Series 12. What you think. You can't stop my rankings, whether you I will carry on enjoying Series 12. Complete bullshit. And a lot of these episodes I think will agree with that in the future. I think adamantly disagree with. And I hope we can have a bit of a discussion. I know there's only like 4 people actually who are subscribed to my channel. Maybe less, because I'm not sure on my list. I'm not sure on how I've ranked them. I'm definitely open to changing this list with some persuasion. Probably very little persuasion. So with that, I'm actually going to invite you guys to say what you think of my rankings, whether you think my rankings are complete bullshit, or which ones you agree with, which ones you adamantly disagree with, and I hope we can have a bit of a discussion. I know there's only like 4 people actually who are subscribed to my channel. I'd like more subscribers if you're watching and you enjoyed this. Just a hint. You don't have to though. Don't have to do anything. I can't make you do anything. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed. And just gonna say bye bye.